The most dangerous insects in the world. You're about to see some of the most dangerous insects on the face of the planet. Bugs that will make your skin melt off with a single bite. Bugs that have caused massive starvation, crumbled economies, and put so many people in poverty. And there's even one insect that is responsible for more human casualties than any other animal on the planet. And it's literally hiding inside your house. So, here's our top 10 list of the most dangerous bugs in the world. Starting with assassin's bug. You know an insect is dangerous when it literally has the word assassin attached to its name. Now, you might be thinking that this bug jumps on the roofs of buildings and wears a hood, and even has a hidden knife somewhere, like Assassin's Creed. But that's not how it works. Are you crazy? Assassin's bug, also known as the ambush bug, are one of the stealthiest and deadliest killers in the animal kingdom. They feed on smaller insects mainly by liquefying the prey's organs and injecting their venom into it, and then they start feasting on them like some crazy episode of MasterChef. There are about 7,000 assassin's bug in the family Reduvidae, which means Thanksgiving dinner must be a complicated affair. But out of all the assassin's bug in the world, there is one that is a serious problem for humans. You see, humans and assassin bugs are cool. We try not to bother each other. Sure, there's the occasional sting, but it's non-lethal. But there's one particular bug that didn't get the memo. The problematic cousin in the family. They call him the kisser. Actually, they call him the kissing bug, but the kisser sounds so much cooler. Unlike the rest of the family, the kisser doesn't like eating other insects. It likes to feed on blood. Human blood, if it can get its lips on you. But the crazy part is it's ground zero for pathogens. So when it bites and takes your blood, it also transfers a disease in the process. And that disease is called Chagas disease. Chagas is a slow killer. For years it'll stay in your system and you'll think it's all good until all of a sudden you'll start having heart failures and digestive issues. Your health deteriorates and you have no idea it's because some bug decided to give you a kiss a couple of years ago. In the end, assassin bugs account for up to 10,000 human deaths per year, so I would avoid these bugs if possible. Locust. When it comes to locusts, these guys have been a menace to society for so long. Even the Bible warned us. Like, these guys are bad news. But I don't think we really think about how dangerous and potentially catastrophic a locust swarm can be. Locusts, which are sometimes called grasshoppers, are mostly solitary animals that feed on plant matter and they're usually chill. But somehow, under certain conditions, locusts start to breed abundantly and start developing migratory tendencies. In other words, they start to form large groups or swarms, and they fly around looking for places with high vegetation like farms or areas of agriculture, and they eat everything. Which means food that should have gone to people, animal, and even an economy gets eaten by insects. A locust swarm was referred to as a plague in the ancient world, a widespread calamity that could migrate over 100 kilometers in a day. It is said that an average-sized locust swarm can consume food equal to that of 35,000 humans per day. And that's an average locust swarm, by the way. A large enough swarm can invade about 20% of the Earth's surface. We could lose so much of our food in a matter of hours, and there'll be less food to go around, which means there'll be hunger, poverty, and possibly loss of life. So yes, locusts are bad news. They can cause devastation to our food, our natural landscape, and even our economy. Thankfully, there are a lot of contingency measures for locusts in the modern age, so they're not too big of a concern. Red fire ants. So, you think ants are cute and hardworking. You probably never met red fire ants. These guys are a cross between a regular ant and a chili pepper. They're how Mother Nature lets you know that she has a sense of humor, and it's not a very good one. First of all, these ants kind of invaded the world. They originated from South America, and somehow they've spread to China, North America, Australia, and parts of Africa. The species is literally called Invicta, which means invincible in Latin. And that kind of tracks because you can try to take them out as much as you want, they will survive. You can't even electrocute them. They eat electricity for breakfast. But this is the part that should make you scared. The sting of a fire ant feels like actual fire. They have a sharp sting at the end of their butt with a healthy load of venom. And they don't attack alone. Once you invade their territory, it's on sight. Hundreds of them come running out and launch coordinated attacks. The pain is incredible. It burns and itches. Your skin starts to swell with pus-like blisters that can last for days. In severe cases, a human might have an allergic reaction to the bite and go into anaphylactic shock, which may lead to their demise. So, if you see this insane group of ants in the wild, respectfully leave them alone. Wasps. You know one thing I always found strange? It's the fact that natural selection saw things like the woolly mammoth, the Siberian tiger, and even the megalodon, and decided that they weren't good enough to keep existing. But then it looked at the wasp and said, I can work with this. If you have ever been stung by a wasp, then you know that they shouldn't be a thing. The world doesn't even need these guys. Wasps are carnivorous insects that love to hunt and sting, just because it's fun. They're literally the serial killers of the insect world. And some wasps can even lay eggs inside of their prey, and then those eggs hatch and eat their way out of the host, like those alien movies. The worst part about wasps is the fact that they can sting you repeatedly. You know how bees can die after one sting? Wasps tend to keep going. The first sting is because they don't like the fact that you exist. The next is because you try to run away. And the third is to make sure you learned your lesson. It doesn't even stop there. A wasp's venom contains what I call a toxic GPS. They can secrete pheromones into their toxins that let other wasps know that you are worthy of being stung. And if that wasn't bad enough, wasps are smart enough to recognize faces. So if you try to attack a wasp, they'll remember you and try to sting you the next time they see you. So thank you, Mother Nature. Thank you for giving us the wasp. Really great job you did there. Also, if you don't like wasps as much as I do, then hit that subscribe button and we'll form a community of wasp haters. We have so many videos coming out on the channel, it'll be a shame not to subscribe. Do it because it helps us a lot. Do it because it's free. And do it because it'll make every wasp out there unhappy. Monarch, caterpillar, and butterfly. When you think about butterflies, you think about this beautiful, majestic creature that couldn't harm a fly. You've probably already seen the monarch butterfly. They're the ones with orange and black stripes capable of crossing continents. But the monarch butterfly is the perfect example of pretty equals dangerous because they are walking hunks of poison. Don't be fooled by its cute and seemingly docile exterior. This butterfly is the bane of birds and other animals that enjoy insects. You see, the monarch butterfly has a base diet of milkweed, a plant with deadly chemicals that can stop the heart, and they store all that poison in their body throughout their lifetime. So, when animals consume a monarch butterfly, they're literally just eating poison. There's convulsing, vomiting, and even death on the menu. Most predators had to learn that the hard way. So, the monarch butterfly and its caterpillar form are left alone. That's right, even in larva states, monarchs are dangerous. The monarch caterpillar also eats milkweed, and it's in high concentration, so the poison is even worse. Thankfully, human skin blocks the toxins, but it's a different story when we eat them. You could develop heart failure by the time you're done. So, monarch butterflies are pretty and fun to look at, just don't eat them. The brown recluse. Now, I know this list is meant for insects and spiders are technically not insects, but when you're a really dangerous arthropod, I have to make an exception. This is the brown recluse spider, and it should be the reason why you're afraid of spiders because it is one of the most dangerous in the world. Commonly found in North America, the brown recluse is a little bigger than a penny and sometimes has a black stripe on its abdomen that makes it look like a violin. But here's why you should be scared of these bad boys. The brown recluse venom can actually melt flesh. If you get bitten by a brown recluse, there's a good chance that that area of flesh will start dying. The reason for this is that their venom contains a necrotic enzyme which destroys tissue cells, so a bite can turn into a wound that eats through skin and muscle, getting to the size of a coin and sometimes a grapefruit. Here's the crazy part. The bite can actually go unnoticed because it's painless at first, so most people don't even know that they've been bitten until like 6 to 8 hours later, the burning starts, the swelling kicks in, and the skin starts to die. The sad part is there's no real anti-venom for a brown recluse bite, and the venom doesn't just affect your skin, it messes with your blood's ability to clot, your immune system, and in severe cases, it causes red blood cell explosion. Doctors have actually had to cut away the dead flesh of a patient bitten by a brown recluse to save their life. And this is the part that will keep you up at night. They love to live amongst humans. They love human houses and human things, shoes and closets, and even clothes. Not a very comforting thought, right? Asian giant hornet. Do you remember when we talked about wasps and I told you that we didn't need them? Now imagine an insect that has all the characteristics and abilities of a wasp, but it's twice the size. I give you the Asian giant hornet. While it is technically a wasp, I think this baby deserves its own category. If wasps are the serial killers of the insect world, then the giant hornet is the mass murderer. It is one of the world's largest insects that can grow up to 5 centimeters or 2 inches, and it's essentially just a small drone that can sting you. And speaking of stinging, they say that the Asian giant hornet's sting is so painful that it's like a hot metal being driven into your skin. The venom contains something called mandarotoxin, which sounds a lot like the toxins were made from a very popular anime villain, which somehow makes things worse. It's said that the hornet's toxins attack the nervous system and dissolve the tissue around the sting. Now, while a single sting will hurt like hell, it's not enough to take out a healthy human adult. But when multiple hornet stings hit one person, that's the end. The stings will cause organ failure, anaphylactic shock, and eventually loss of life. In Japan alone, the Asian green hornet causes 30 to 50 deaths per year. But humans aren't their only victims. They really love killing bees. Remember how I said they're mass murderers? Well, when these hornets find a beehive, that hive is gone within hours. For some reason, they chew up the head of bees and turn it into a paste to feed their young, and then the rest of the body gets tossed aside. It's barbaric. This is why when some of these hornets were spotted in North America, there was a massive attempt to eradicate the nest because they meant doom for the local bee population. Sessifly. Now we're getting to the truly insane insects that are essentially bred for causing harm. Sessiflies are found in about 36 countries in sub-Saharan Africa, especially around rivers, forests, and savannas. They look a lot like houseflies, except they love to hunt mammals and they are blood-feeding parasites. When I tell you that these flies are actually bred for causing harm, it's not a joke. They have special sensors for detecting movement, body heat, and even exhaled carbon dioxide, which means as long as you're breathing, they will find you. What's really dangerous about these flies is not the fact that both male and female feed on blood and blood only, but it's the fact that these insects transmit an extremely dangerous disease. The sessifly saliva carries a parasite called a trypanosome, which causes trypanosomiasis or sleeping sickness. Sleeping sickness can be fatal. It starts by attacking your blood, causing fever, headache, swelling, and joint pain. Then it moves to your brain and starts messing with your sleep cycle. Then it sends you to a coma, and then you go to sleep permanently. The insane thing is, all it takes is one bite from the sessifly, and you're infected. The scourge of the sessifly has killed millions of people throughout history, and it's not just humans. Like we said, they hunt mammals. So even livestock like cattle, goats, and animals of that sort are also victims of this tiny fly. Fleas. If you thought the sessifly was bad, then the fleas might actually give you trauma. Fleas are tiny insects that also love to suck blood from their host, and they do it with finesse and showmanship. What I like about fleas is the fact that they can jump over 200 times their body length, and that feels a lot like a superhero ability. What I don't like about fleas is the fact that one single flea can drink up to 15 times its body weight in a single day, and they reproduce fast. One female flea can lay up to 50 eggs in a day, which means you can have thousands of fleas in a matter of weeks, a full-on infestation. The fleas usually bite animals like dogs, cats, rats, and other rodents, and then they bite humans. These actually created the craziest fact about fleas. They were the vectors for the bubonic plague, responsible for the loss of 25 million lives in medieval Europe. And even though the plague is no longer cause for concern and is very treatable today, fleas are still responsible for spreading that disease. Mosquito. Finally, we have the most dangerous insect in the world, the insect whose kill count surpasses that of every other animal in existence. Yes, a mosquito has taken out more humans than sharks, hippos, and lions. These blood-sucking insects kill an average of 700,000 humans in a year. That's even more than the number of homicides the humans commit annually. The odd thing is, it's the female mosquitoes that suck blood. The male mosquitoes are vegan and only drink plant nectar. The females, on the other hand, use the blood from animals to develop their eggs. They don't need much blood, but they're going to take a lot anyway. Mosquitoes effortlessly spread diseases, and it's not just one. They have a cocktail of illnesses that they would love to give to you. The most popular being malaria, which kills daily. Then there's dengue fever, Zika virus, yellow fever, and so many others. Like sisafly, they can also detect it when you're breathing. So if you're alive, mosquitoes are coming for you. If your blood is type O, they're coming for you. If you're pregnant, mosquitoes are really coming for you. And if you like to drink, oh, then they're really coming for you. What I hate the most about mosquitoes is the noise. Mosquitoes love to sing in your ear for the fun of it, and it can be so annoying. Overall, mosquitoes are the worst, and there are even reports that they have started adapting to our insecticides, which is a real cause for concern. That's about it for our list of the most dangerous insects on the planet. Tell us how you feel about these insects and what other insects you hate and can't stand. Also, YouTube thinks you're going to love this next video on your screen, so click it and find out.